Could calling yourself a coach be actually costing you money? Find out in this video. Hey Difference Maker, it's Kirby. I trust that you are well. I wanted to talk to you very briefly because someone said to me the other day, Kirby, you're like a coach, aren't you? And I thought to myself, wow, how easy is it for people just to like pigeonhole what you do as an expert into like that funnel of coach and like everyone's a coach, and it's not the reality. And so on social media, it got me reflecting, and I thought about a few people that I know in this space, and I checked them out online, and lo and behold, most of the time they are describing themselves as a coach on their social media, on their Facebook, Instagram, and that sort of thing. But here's the deal. I know some of these people, and I know they're not a coach, or at least they're not a coach all the time. So here's why it might be costing you money. Right now, you might have noticed that there are literally 7.7 zillion coaches on Facebook, which may or may not be an exaggeration, but 70% of facts are all made up on the spot. I don't know how many Anchorman references I've managed to get into these videos in the last few weeks, but anyway, hopefully you like Anchorman. If not, go watch it.
I like a good strong lady and a tasty BLT. Hey, I'm Ron Burgundy.
Anyway, here's the problem with it. Massive saturation of the market. Massive red ocean. So if you're playing in that red ocean, extremely hard to get noticed, extremely hard to monetize your business, extremely hard to get leads, extremely hard to charge what you're worth. All right? So here's what I want to propose instead. There are really, when we break it down, 3 types of expert. I mean, there's probably more if we kind of branch into sub-niches and all this sort of stuff, but fundamentally there are 3. You've got coaching, you've got consulting, and you've got training. All right? Now let me explain what the difference is to make sure that you are really positioning yourself where you need to be in the market. Coaching, and I don't know if this is the exact definition, so if you know different to this, let me know, but this is my interpretation. A coach asks questions that you then answer so that you come to your own realizations, conclusions, insights, like aha moments, right? So as an example, if I was coaching you right now, I might say, hey, look, I know you've told me you need to do that thing. What do you think the right step would be for you to start doing that thing? That's kind of like a coaching question, right? I know it's a bit vague, of course, but that's a coaching question because I'm not saying, do this thing. I'm guiding you to your own answer that you feel is appropriate for yourself, and then, of course, giving you the insight as you go through that. That, to me, is coaching. Now, the next step is consulting. Consulting is where I would say, hey, I know how to do that for you. Let me do it for you. And that might be in the form of agency work, or it might be in the form of me going into a business to help implement something. Or it might be me saying, here's how to do that. Okay? That's consulting. And that's way more highly paid because obviously it requires, generally speaking, requires a lot more of your time if you're doing consulting or agency work. The third string in the bow is training. Training is where I would say, hey, I know exactly how to do that webinar that you want to do. Let me help you do that, and I'll teach you how to do it. I will train you on the steps you need to take. Now, notice the difference between the 3. Coaching, I'm asking questions. Consulting, I'm telling or doing. Training, I'm showing. Okay? 3 different spaces. Now, if coaching is asking questions, but you're not asking questions, if you're implementing for people or if you're training people, stop calling yourself a coach. Because what you're doing is you're potentially diluting the value of what you provide to your market, and therefore diluting the value that you are likely to be paid from the market or from the people in the market who you serve. All right? Now, of course, whether you're a trainer, consultant, coach, can you also be an author? Sure. Can you also be a speaker? Sure. I know plenty of coaches who speak. I know plenty of coaches who've written a book. I also know plenty of consultants and trainers who've done exactly the same thing. So don't get too broad in what we're talking about here, because literally that's what it's going to come down to. You train people, you do it for them, or you coach them to help them get there. All right? So go and work out what you're doing in your business. Go and change your social media to reflect the reality of what you're out there doing for people, and see the difference that that might make for you as you put your message out there into the world. I'll see you next time.